I said I should be back before Faye is the actual way I put it, which implies the possibility of failure.
Well,
Do take that into account. Should and will be is two different words.
Okay, taking into account, Josh is a failure. Got it.
No, Josh went.
Well,
I
anyway.
might be. Josh basically went. I should be, but there's a chance I might not.
Anyway, I guess it's D&D time.
Welcome. Yes, it's D&D time. Welcome to whatever the fuck we're still calling this.
I mean, Turp's not here, so
If
it doesn't
you're,
matter.
yeah, if you're watching this, that means it's on YouTube, or I'm forcing Terp to stream it to Twitch.
Oh, we know.
Tough to say. Anyways, what did we do last time?
Something.
Yeah,
There's
no,
some
we don't-
kind of backup plan.
Yeah. Currently, the backup plan is whenever Terp's not here, but we do have enough players, I record.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
So last time we did.
We
We
killed
took
a mammoth.
You killed him. Uh,
We proceeded to make, under Thorin's guidance, a sled out of the ribcage and tusks. Loaded everything onto it.
Kyan skinned the fuck out of it.
Yep. And we got, I'm going to say, a third of the way to the village before being attacked by a pack of wolves, which we
and
managed to
Otto,
fend
and
off.
Otto turned into a tundra beast.
I don't even remember what the hell it was called.
He turned into Frostox.
There you go.
Frostox.
It is not frosty.
Stay frosty.
Whatever, lives in the tundra. Tundrox.
Tundrox. Yeah. And we got attacked by wolves.
Yeah, it might have something to do with that giant pile of meat you're carrying around.
We don't have enough bags of holding to prevent that.
And Rill was like, no, this is real sword, not tick. Yeah,
Wow.
because like I wasn't here, Kai took control of Rill.
Either way, onwards back towards the village we go, because it's only the middle of the fucking day.
Onward!
Onwards. Good job this isn't uphill.
Yeah.
So, nice easy bit to start with. You spend the next...
We were on day 2.
No, I'm looking at the calendar. Don't tell me shit. So, you spend 3 more days traversing the tundra. The tundra. Fighting it. Very tiring, because the only way you can seem to move this mammoth is if everyone is helping. And with the limitations of Otto's extra pulley form, you slowly make your way across, taking breaks whenever he has to revert back. And slow and steadily, you make your way across the tundra until you can see the camp on the horizon ahead of you. Lucky for you, the walls were the only things that seem to have taken note at this point in time.
Woo!
For math purposes, how many rations did we just use?
3 days worth of rations.
Wait, we're back at
Just-
the village.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you find
3
yourself-
rations, that's... I'm down to only 12 rations. Woo!
Congratulations.
And I'm assuming we can also hit our full rest, our long rest?
Yeah, you can make sure all your stuff is set.
Yeah, I'm down to 12 as well.
What is my HP at? I am not on the map.
Cool. That's a shame. I won't worry about it.
I'm on the map twice.
I won't worry
Oh
about it.
look, it's a new map.
No, it's an old map.
It's an old map.
Uh,
With the... Remember, there is no fire.
Yeah.
So you
Which
can...
means I have a long job.
So you see it on the horizon, and I want to say late afternoon. As you slowly push, pull, traverse the last part of the journey towards the camp. Camp? Yeah, we'll call it camp for now. Anything you want to do before actually getting to the camp at this point in time?
Not really.
Well, I would activate tongue that I could speak to them.
I mean, are you the whatever they are still, or are you normal Fae?
I have not turned back into any variant of human Cayenne.
Okay, so good to know you're still alive.
You should probably change
Yes.
your token.
No,
No.
don't worry about it. Tokens are just there for in case you need to click on them.
Now,
Yeah, tokens permanently saying that it's the artwork you have to look at.
fair enough. I just kind of gesture to Cayenne at this point. It's like, after you, we're supposedly beneath you, and I need to study those tents to figure out what I'm doing with this to make us a new tent. Excuse me.
Well, Cayenne, having been large this entire time frame of moving, shrinks back down to normal size and just starts helping pull. Because we still have to get to the village. They didn't say anything about helping us pull it in.
Shouldn't you stay full size then, just in case they see you?
I look at Thorin. I showed up 8 foot tall. What do you think they're going to do when they see a 6 foot tall version of Goliath me? They're going to think giant.
now they're gonna think, wait a minute, where is other one?
No, they're going to see the exact same spitting image but taller.
Okay.
Shrug. Onwards we go then.
So the last bit is the hardest bit. Pulling up
Oh, God,
towards
there's a hill.
towards the tribe's camp, and you kind of like, as you get to the edge of the actual edge, you can see the young Goliath children playing outside until one of them spots you, and in their native tongue starts calling out for an adult. Of which one soon appears, heading out to greet you.
I mean, they did send it. Oops. What the fuck, internet?
They do know if we come back that we did the job.
Yeah.
I don't speak Goliath, so so
That would be Otto.
It would also be Cayenne because of tongues. I'm just waiting to hear anything from the DM.
I said an adult comes out to greet you.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that wasn't the hardest thing we've ever done.
Cayenne. Should we start taking this stuff off of the makeshift sled?
I don't know yet. Looks at the Goliath that come to greet us. I'm assuming we need to report to the matriarch, or do you know where we're having to set up a tent? Hut.
Yes, you follow. They state to follow them. They agree with letting a certain other know, and just for you to follow.
Okay. You follow.
Whole group following.
yeah.
I assume so.
Okay. So the group follows, leaving Otto tied to the tied up in his form. And the adult Goliath leads you to the hut in which I forgot how to pronounce her name. The matriarch. I'm saying the matriarch. I can't believe I've forgotten how to pronounce it. This one. Don't mind me. I'm totally not having
A
that
moment.
They lead you into her hut, and you see her sitting on the furs, and she looks up to you. So you survived.
Yes.
At least most of you did.
Oh no, he's alive.
You all survived.
Yes.
Well. That's fortunate for you, I guess. I was not
Not
he seems
expecting.
to be a little lost at the fact that you survived. Both impressed, but also unamused. Well, deal is a deal, I guess.
Yes.
And we should honor
How
it.
has Lumi been since we left?
She is no longer here.
She recovered and left?
No. She has been taken.
By...
We don't understand this, Mouse.
By someone who can help her better.
Okay.
She is in their capable hands. There's no need to worry.
Okay. I shall take your word for it. Not that first in what's happening to her fully.
Now, seeing that you're all alive, and I am assuming that you succeeded,
Yes.
show me. As she stands.
Cayenne will lead the way.
Cayenne,
Hopefully.
where are we going?
Going back to show the mammoth remains.
Ah. Alright then.
I tap Cayenne on the side. Maybe you should ask her about those stones.
I will in good time. Just as we're walking, in Cayenne will look and ask the major. Eric. So we saw some giant rune-covered stones. Anything you can tell us about those?
Firstly, we shall check the spoils that you bring.
Fair enough.
And as she, I'm assuming you're leading the way.
Yes.
As you lead her over to where you have like left what remains of the mammoth.
And hopefully a regular auto.
She
Sending is a thing.
she is joined by another Goliath who follows when upon noticing her leave the tent. And you head over to the mammoth where you find Otto no longer in animal form, however a little tied up in the makeshift not saddle, but like harness. That's the one, harness.
Mm.
You know,
Maybe
you could have
we should have
waited
unfastened him from the harness before leaving him here.
You should have just been able to. Cayenne just connects with Zoho. He should have been able to just revert and not be stuck in rope.
True, the harness was made for his Tundrock's form, and his regular Furbolg form is smaller. Should have been able to slip out easily. Otto, what happened?
I'm tired, and well, I can't do Otto's accent, so well, it is tiring pulling a lot of things, and this is a lot of rope.
I was helping push.
You could have unfastened them, though. With your hands?
You try being an animal for such long periods of time.
I meant reverting back into your normal form and then unfastening yourself. I'm sorry. Here, let me help. And Zoho goes to help Otto untangle himself.
Otto is, when you get closer, clearly exhausted.
Yeah, I've been pulling the remains practically non-stop. We appreciate it, Otto.
So as you help Otto, A matriarch here approaches and starts examining what pile of mammoth you have. Which one of you did this?
Turn.
What is she
You
gesturing
mean
at?
You mean turning the bones into a cart? Points at the dwarf. Skin it. Points at myself.
She's talking about the cart.
Yeah. If you mean the cart, it was the dwarf.
I just stare at Cayenne. What am I being asked?
I don't know yet.
Oh. One of you seems to have some initiative. This will feed us for a long time. As small as you are stronger than expected.
I relay all this information of what she said.
I take a short bow in dwarven fashion, in appreciation of the compliment, but say nothing.
You also have good timing with your return.
How so?
We head out in the morning.
I see. And then in Cayenne's head, oh, good. They're one of the types of people. They're nomadic.
Would have been a shame for this to go to waste if you didn't make it back.
Yes, that would have been a tragedy.
But as per agreement, then you may stay with us.
Thank you.
However, I hope you can keep up.
I believe we should be able to. Cayenne having flashbacks to the chase scene.
That was a horrible idea on my part.
Yes, it was.
Entertaining, but horrible.
And she just turns around and heads back towards her hut, beckoning over a different Goliath as she goes. And you kind of just left there hanging.
I look if there's a Goliath left with us. So what do we do with this?
As you look around, you kind of realize the only Goliath there is kind of like a young Goliath, kind of like poking at the mammoth.
Great. Well, I relay all of the information into the group of we get to stay.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably gonna have to follow them in the morning.
Follow?
By the sounds of it, they're nomadic. If we got here a day late, or they would have left.
Ah, I see. so they're constantly on the move to avoid detection from predators. Is that correct?
Maybe?
Fascinating. He takes out his journal and just writes it down. Very
Or
interesting.
it's,
Very interesting.
or it's due to them being hunters and unsure about gatherers, but I think
Well,
everything in this area is moving to a different area.
well, if they're hunters, having to change hunting grounds every now and then, especially if they hunt so the game in one area and have to move to another for sustenance, that makes more sense. It is common sense, really. They go where the food is.
And currently, the food we brought will sustain them for months, apparently.
Zoho looks at the mammoth. A whole month on this?
A few months.
Few months. Oh my.
Well, she said, I believe she said a while, but look at God. Is there anything else to do?
You have an evening and a night in this camp.
Neat.
What else do you want to do?
I assume if I go inquire when the matriarch seems to be ready to talk, if like I go to inquire about the elemental pillar.
Okay, so you want to go and talk to her again?
Yeah, because I got nothing better to do unless try to do something else. But then again, I'm not sure what else to do, because I don't even know if these people know what a vial is.
You don't recall seeing anything that you recognize as a musical instrument.
I don't even see a drum. How do these people stay sane?
So, Cayenne's gonna go and try and have a conversation. Anything anyone want to do?
Oi.
In the
Oh, yeah.
meantime, there's not much I can think of.
Okay.
Right. Before Cayenne leaves, she slowly pivots on her feet somehow and looks at the dwarf. Remember when we found the one closet that seemed to be a bunch of dwarven tax shit? I'm talking to Thorin. Did Josh die?
No. I missed half of that because my headset cut out for a sec.
Okay. Cayenne turned to Thorin. So, you remember when I was a kobold,
Yeah.
and we found that room that seemed to be full of tax shit.
Vaguely, yeah.
She opens up her bag. Where the fuck? Freezes her arm and starts digging around. Pulls out a book.
Oh no! Did you
I can
steal that from the library? Damn it! Oh.
no, no. This is from all the tax stuff. At least I think. I didn't take anything from the library.
Okay.
This might have something important. I don't know. Hands him the book.
I look at it. Is this is one of the ones that was in Dwarven? Yes.
One of the old dwarven ones.
Oh, Fuck me. Did you ever tell Faye what it said, or can I tell
Faye
from the
can't read
title?
it.
I
Um,
don't have comprehend languages.
can you tell me what this book says on the title, please?
There is no title.
Oh, not even on the spine. There's nothing written on the spine of the
Oh.
book either.
There's no title.
I open it to peruse the first couple of pages. What do I glean from it?
It appears to be some kind of logs of meetings.
Well, I know what I'm doing now. Before going to bed, I am going to be studying the book.
Okay. So you've now been given a test you weren't expecting. Read
Yep.
all Dwarven.
Zaha, meanwhile, is sketching the makeshift sled they created. Gonna need a reference.
I poke Zoho as I
Hmm?
look up from the book for a sec. Why don't you step to a place where you can get the whole village in your sketch, and give it to, uh, the matriarch? I don't know if she'd appreciate it, but
Hmm.
perhaps
Mm,
making a
I
chronicle. Sorry, making a chronicle of their village and the people in it through various sketches might make our lives a little easier.
Hmm. Perhaps. I will have to ask Cayenne to be an interpreter for me, since I do not speak the Goliath language. Or Auto. It is a good idea, Thorn. But first, I have to sketch out this sled, just in case we may have to make another one.
I
On
could
another
do it in
part.
my sleep.
I have no doubt of your capabilities of sketching this out. You are an artificer. Sketching out sketching out what is it you call it? Blueprints? I think you call them blueprints. Yes?
Josh die again.
No.
Nah.
Yay. Okay.
Hmm.
Give me a second. I'm gonna unplug and replug my headset in because just to see if it's a loose connection. Mouse.
Yes.
Okay. So run that by me again.
I have no doubt. Zahos, I'm sure you're quite familiar with sketching out plans for inventions. I believe you artificers call them blueprints?
Yes. Though there are many things I can't show you, as per dwarven not only custom but tradition that certain things remain hidden. However, I do have a sketchbook and a pencil, and I
Yes.
can,
Can I be?
or if you want, you can give me your sketchbook and pencil, and I can do a quick sketch of
Cat,
how the
it's
sled
gone.
is built.
Uh, sure. And he flips over to a blank page in his sketchbook and hands it in the pencil to Thorin.
I do a basic drawing of of an of the sled from a straight down angle, and then from a side view, showing how it's put together, and then I hand it back to Zoho.
Huh.
There you go.
This is quite different from some of the drawings I am used to making. It's very straightforward.
Yeah, you could say bland. Unfortunately, blueprints don't get exaggerated very often.
Hmm.
Sometimes I wonder why not. It would at
Not
least
much.
showcase what the object was made to do.
I think I get it. It's not meant to be artistic, instead, it's meant to be more of a guideline for what's to be made.
Well,
Like instructions.
that's more or less the idea of a blueprint. Now, while you digest that information, I'm going to try and understand this old dwarven. Oh dear, this is probably going to take me all night.
Hmm. Perhaps you can ask Rill for some assistance. If memory serves, she understands Dwarven.
But old dwarven?
Fair point. Still, wouldn't hurt to ask.
Better you than me.
Meanwhile, well, he goes back to putting finishing touches on the sketch of the sled. Right, now I need to find a good viewpoint. I need to sketch out the village. Do not take too long, Thorn.
I won't.
Okay. So, Zoho's going to do some more drawing and note taking, diarying.
I was probably going to stare at.
Try to read a really old book.
I was probably going to go stare at some ox.
Otto was going to go and do whatever Otto was doing away from people, so we don't have to worry about NPC Otto. And Real's going to probably go and do real things. Unless Psycho wants to do something specific herself. Okie dokie, Real does real things. That's the easy solution. It means I can just put Psycho at some other point going, what did you do when you were at this camp? Okay, so we'll do Cayenne in with the matriarch first then. But that will also give me time to go find the notes for this thing that you forgot you had for so long.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff we forgot we had for a long time, like the strength
Now you're getting
scroll.
So
The one where the more people put into the spell, the stronger the recipient becomes.
Great, you remembered something. Doing the matriarch first.
Okay.
Right, so after your brief discussion and decision planning, you had to follow over to where the matriarch's hut is.
Right.
There is no guard.
Neat.
Are you going to barge in? Are you going to call out?
Do I hear anything, first of all?
Oh wait, you still can understand giant, can't you?
Yes.
Sounds like she's having a discussion. It sounds like they're planning a journey
Okay.
from the brief moment, for the brief moments you're spending outside trying to figure out whether you should just go in or not. You can take an assumption that it is probably about leaving tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to do this, because you can't knock on a tent. Well, you can.
That's the tricky part.
Just look for a bone.
Is it that hard to find a bone, or is it just mostly mammoth leather?
It's on the outside. It's mostly mammoth leather, hide.
Uh, I just say out loud near the door, I say, Matriarch, when you have time, I would like to speak to you in regards of the stones that I had mentioned, but otherwise I shall not intrude. Implying I
You
shall.
don't hear a response, and you just kind of like left hanging around outside for a minute before the other Goliath exits.
Yeah.
They acknowledge you still there and carry on their way.
Okay, well, I then just calmly step into the tent.
So you enter the tent, and she's again sitting on her furs.
Yes.
And she looks
Okay.
up to you and goes, "What stones? There are many stones in this here tundra."
There are stones southwest of where you have your encampment, and they are massive, ingrained with ruins of, well, according to the Furbolg, they're giant runes, and touching them freeze is you in place, or at least to the rune.
Hmm. Eh.
We know of these stones. We will be heading there shortly.
I see.
They are. They were once. They were once a single pillar. Long ago. Of which was carved an event that involved our ancestors.
I see.
We now that we will be visiting them on our journey. I have not heard sorry, I've lost track of my thought process. You said that you froze when you touched them.
Yes, specifically touching the runes. The stones. The stone itself, nothing really happened other than touching the rune.
That sounds interesting. Though I do not know why myself. You would need to speak to others who know more than me.
I see. Can I insight if she means there's someone in the village that would know more, or...
You can try. You feel like the others she speaks of are not in this village.
Oh, that's gonna be pain in the ass later. Especially if she means giants.
You know, you could just ask, right?
Yeah. Could you tell me more about the people that may know more?
There is another triumph of who has more knowledge of the ancient tales than us. They are more accustomed to the world than we are.
I see.
However, I would not know where to send you if you were to seek them. Our paths do not cross often.
Do you happen to know their tribe name?
Do you want the DM to smite you?
No.
Why would you ask me for a name?
Because I thought you were implying you had one.
Not at the ready, you motherfucker. I've been procrastinating. I'll get back to you with a name.
Yay.
At some point.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I don't do random generators for most names
Hmm.
like this. For they are not a generic NPC. So. Is there anything else you want to ask or speak about?
Well, if you can give me any bits of information on Varista's location. Or is she going to imply that Varista is actually somewhere near the ice pillar?
Are you going to ask her?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
So-
I would just
That was just me
I
seeing
basically-
if you remembered.
basically I
The second part of
Would
the
add-
deal.
I would ask about the second part of the deal where Varist is, as we will probably go our separate ways and we would head home. Or find Loom and have her lead us along a path back, because we know of a way. Because we know of a way, however that way involves a giant drop. But we would have to be going up in the other direction.
Her mother's grave, as she refers to it, is found far away from where you are now. You need to head, if you want to commune with her, then you would have to head for, what the hell did I call it? Fuck, I forgot what I called it. There's a great crevasse on the around 10 days to the west. Remember that big opening I told you could see on the horizon?
So, this area. Because here's where the stones are. Here's where we got the mammoth. And this is where we are.
Okay, so the 10 thing is where you think you are. The skull thing is where you got the mammoth. Or the stones.
The skull is supposed to be the head where the stones are, and then
This
basically
thing is meant to be the where you killed the mammoth and dragged it out.
yeah. So basically, we're going back the way we came
Hmm.
into the crevice.
Not that crevasse.
Okay, so not the one over
unless I
here.
got my timing wrong. Hang on. Let me check my calendar. I might have just got my math wrong. So you've just spent from that there, was it 6 days? Well,
You said it would have been 6 to 7 days to get back, and so
yeah, it was
on
6
the
days
sixth,
because because 1 day was spent making the cart. Right. So that's 6 days. My math's slightly out.
so right where I have the 25 would have been where we got in the mammoth.
So if we say this tent is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So where I'm pointing would roughly be the mammoth. That's 6. It'll be at least 10 days, maybe longer. Depends on travel pace.
Okay. So unless we're hoofing it, hunting more mammoths for food, or getting rations from the mam. If we killed, great. We know where we're going. At least.
Yeah, if you head further west, there is a greater crevasse. When you the grave is at the bottom. Basically, you'll find trying to think of the best way of describing it.
Whoa, that was loud.
There is. Fuck. Brain, please work.
Now, why would we want that?
My brain to work because it'll make things go a bit faster. So, there's a much greater crevasse further away. At the bottom of it, you'll find the grave. However, you ever visit there, due to the difficulty involved.
So wait, there's a great difficulty to get there anyways?
If you ever make it to the actual grave due to she makes it sound like there is some kind of obstacle there.
Okay.
Prevents people from simply visiting willy-nilly.
Does she imply is it a creature?
She doesn't know herself, she hasn't been there.
Okay.
Her knowledge
10
is, she knows where the
days.
grave is, and she knows there's, when you enter the crevasse, not the little ones, the proper big one, you'll know it when you find it. And is very few try make that journey. Lumi is the only one she knows that's basically been there. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Oh, yes, that's the second part of the deal. Location of the grave, where you can commune. She's still assuming rules, rules related to Lumi.
And we shall keep it that way.
You can feel however you want to feel.
I take this information. Thank you. And then slowly try to leave. Because I got nothing else at this current point in time.
Oh, she will also ask you, will you be joining them?
On the trip to the elemental pillar?
As they're moving. You're allowed to stay. That was part of the using the mammoth.
I believe it would be in our best interest to stay with you for the time being.
Okay. Right. I guess I should go over to this dwarven thing that Foreign's trying to read.
Oh yeah, I'm about to have some really just.
Can you
Maybe.
roll me an investigation with advantage, please?
Okie dokie. Please don't fail me now. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Why did you do that? Ah.
Okay, good job.
Hog.
Alright. So, having found wherever you feel comfortable to spend some time investigating this book, trying to. It's not really deciphering, but it feels like some parts are deciphering, as partly whoever wrote this had terrible handwriting. Secondly, it's very old and some of the pages are like crumbled and worn with patches of ink missing.
Lovely.
However, as I said, there's no title or anything on the cover itself. But you know how books like a couple of pages in have
The directory or whatever.
it doesn't have a directory, but like a couple of pages in, they usually have like the another print of like the title and stuff to tell
Yeah.
you what on the inside. Yeah. So what you can make out is this book is logs from meetings from one of the old dwarven kings from before you were around. It states that it's basically the minutes from these meetings. And one of the very first things that is stated is that, as it's minutes and like quoted, those within this room and those that take their respective roles in the future are to be the only members of the council to keep the knowledge of what is being discussed here.
Oh dear.
I'm guessing you'd like to continue reading what you can.
Yes, please.
I'm going to start slowly copying pasting bits to you.
Oh, lovely.
This will be easier if I this button. Because then you can relay what information you want from the others. Where are you? Message Josh. I'm gonna get this in bits and pieces, so you might want to hold on for a second before you start reading stuff, otherwise it's going to make no sense.
Good. We have to go into a bigger hole.
Actually, gotta go into a bigger hole.
Okay.
This piece.
Uh. You have now raised so many
Hold on, I
questions.
haven't finished yet.
I know. Squints at the hole.
Prince at the
Confused.
hole. Wait, what hole?
The hole we have to go 10 days west to find.
Oh, sweet jeez.
You know the giant chasm?
Yeah. Oh. Fuck. Cat. Yes. Cat. Hi,
a Ray.
Ray.
Okay.
It's a Ray. Hi, it's
Okay,
a Ray.
I think that's the bits that you are going to get.
Just from this read through, okay.
Based on the poor handwriting, bits and pieces missing, this is the core parts of what you're getting.
So in other words, if I wanted more, I would have to really spend some time on this. Good to
Well,
know.
well, yeah.
No, I kind of figured this is what I'm getting just from a single night. This is more like you're basically saying if I
This is
want
your
the
evening now.
yeah,
Printing get hard to read text. That that word doesn't make any sense. What the? It's like art thou the? Art thou some? It's like fucking me trying to read Old English.
so
Or if you've read,
basically
or if you've read the Silmarillion, it's like trying to read the Silmarillion.
I haven't tried to yet. I've read the entire Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Yes, the Silmarillion is his note, so it's written basically as he wrote it
Oh fuck.
in all the proper Old English, and it is literally like art, like trying to read things where it's like art thou who, and on my head it's just like this makes sense, but it's really hard to read.
No, if I were to go through something harder, I would have said the original Sherlock Holmes because I do
Anyway,
have that in Old English.
that's now sidetracking.
Yeah.
I've given you the information you get. Feel free to relay this to the group as and when you feel what you think you should relay
I-
and whatnot over the course of the evening as people kind of like group together and try to figure out where the fuck you're staying before you kind of get shuffled into a fucking random hut again.
I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure if I should tell anything because I'm concerned about what Azuro might do, and I don't want the book going missing. Fuck's sakes! I
You
call
can all-
I call Cayenne over and I discuss it with Cayenne while I
Cayenne
talk.
is currently in a meeting with the.
Oh, she's still talking to.
Well, I believe you're
Ah!
reading through this and trying to sort it out while they're having discussions in the tent.
Then I'm keeping this to myself, and I'm glad I am because of Zyka's little smile. Of course,
Hey, no metagaming.
no, she's not. She's just agreeing with the fact that I said Azrael would take the book, or it would
No,
disappear.
my book.
That's why I'm not saying anything because that book will disappear immediately.
Eventually, as darkness falls around that freaking grin.
You may smile on Discord, and I can't show it because I'm not gonna.
I don't say silly things like
Mess
that
around
because
with
they run away.
settings.
So, eventually, Goliath is kind of like sent to round you lot up and put you in a hut for the night.
Neat.
I am going to stick the book in my bag of holding and shove it all the way to the bottom. After what I read, I am not making this easy.
No, you are not.
This book is going in this bag of holding. Let's hope nobody gets this bag of holding. Let's not tell anybody that I'm putting.
Oh, I'm not telling anybody anything because after what I just read, there is none of this I am imparting to anybody right now.
Wait, what
Until
was
I
it?
have
I'm lost.
Faye took a book from the city when we were there.
The 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 abandoned part.
Yes.
Oh.
It contains very important information. Thorin has been asked to decipher it by Cayenne. While I have deciphered this, I have figured out stuff is very important. I am now hiding the book, and I refuse to tell anybody what it says right now.
That's going to be interesting when everyone gets gathered into a hut and they're like, "So, how are you?" Kyan's like, "So, any luck with that book?"
My response will be, no, I need a lot more time with this because the writing is so horrible. It's going to take me weeks to decipher this crap. I would shoot the dwarf who wrote this down. Well, maybe not shoot them, but definitely punish them severely and have them practice their writing till it would be nice, concise, and proper.
Okay. Okay, so what you're telling me is it was written by a doctor.
Yeah, that's probably no one can read doctors. handwriting,
Yeah.
right? Pharmacists. So,
My response, quite possibly, it is atrocious and an abomination to the dwarven art of writing. Ugh.
It makes you want to throw up reading it.
Well, I wouldn't take it that far.
Yes.
But it definitely hurts, and I need several more weeks to study and like piece it together completely. I just look at Zoho when he does that. I would need to remind you, reading common when it is poorly written is almost impossible. Dwarven is so much worse. Even more so when it is old Dwarven. Sometimes I wonder about people.
it's a dangerous thing to do. So,
I'm gonna retire now.
so do you guys buy this? Buy this whole? It's very old, hard to read, hurts my brain.
Zoho's still staring hard at Thorn.
No, I don't.
Am I having to pass a fucking deception here?
Yeah, because you were put.
It's like
Because if you're, here's a fun part about doing like lying to people. If you're going to say a bunch of shit like "No way, I'm telling anybody any of this" out loud to the whole fucking group,
Yeah.
you're already failing at the role playing of the keep it secret. That's your
I
moment
guess.
when you're meant to send like a message to the DM going, "Yeah, I'm not telling anybody," and then go, and then when someone asks you, you go, then you just give the excuse of, "Unfortunately, it's really hard. This handwriting is really hard to read, and it's going to take more than a
Yeah,
single
yes.
evening for me to decipher." So yes, you are going to have to roll your obvious. It's going to be a deception.
Well, this is a task. And this sucks. This just makes my life miserable. Normal deception. Depending on how this goes.
Damn it!
Holy
Hold
shit!
on. I am gonna make
No,
this.
no, you're
roll.
fine. Forward. Cayenne gives a brief, probably just stares at you briefly and go, "Well, it's a really old book. That probably is going to take more than an evening for you to figure out." You saw the state of it. It wasn't the best.
Oh,
you're
you
done,
are
goof.
not allowed to poke around in my head.
This is me talking to you.
Cayenne, for all intents and purposes, you believe what Foreign's saying.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. You get that in your head.
I just
Because I believe you.
I just give a weary thumbs up at this point.
Now you see a normal person that knows that someone can talk to another person in there. I'm trying and failing at words. Basically, you doing weirdly is just making Cayenne be like, you know something. You might know little, but you know something. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. And slinks into a corner, awake.
He has to. Okay.
Awake. I just stare at Cayenne. You're not planning on sleeping, because are you? I really don't want to explode at one of their tents, because that's going to
Have
be
you
hard
seen me
to explain.
I didn't sleep since we killed the mammoth.
Okay.
If we're going to sleep, it will be in a warmer climate.
I just don't want to explode while I'm in a flammable tent.
So how are you gonna sleep?
Yes.
Can you roll a wisdom saving throw, please?
Ah! I forgot.
Ah.
It's the wisdom stuff. It's the wisdom stuff. Okay. 1 second. 1 second.
Don't worry, Mouse, you shouldn't... Oh, wait.
Mouse has
No.
the same chance as you do.
As Faye remembers, we just did a bit of time skipping, so it's maybe not be what they're thinking.
No, I just remembered by somewhat Kai's own admission in that my rolls are dependent on when I sleep. Squeaky rolls are dependent on when he fail, or how long he has slept.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
the 3D dice have betrayed me.
Well, actually, Squeaky's could just be a static roll.
I don't
Number.
know. We don't
No.
know
I
that.
said, I'm just making.
Nope, you're okay.
Wait,
What?
Wait, what?
It's not a static number.
No,
What?
because you
They're
discussed
both
this.
based. They're both based on how since the last. Tweakers is since his last event.
Oh yeah.
No, this means
Oh yeah, right before we found the stones.
Yeah,
yep.
it hasn't been that long. It's been long enough
But-
for me to justify rolling. It's just not been that that long in the grand scheme of things.
Okay.
Okay. So
I
that's
I
what
just
actually
stare at
last.
Kayate. Please don't set the tent the tent on fire.
I could see Kai going, I said it, and then room on fire 1 time. 1 time.
That's not even my fault. It's the beds. It was too comfy.
Kaite has just side-eyed you.
Criminal offensive side eye.
no, we do not need that. So you guys head
Sleep.
head to sleep in this hut together. Iron does not explode.
Because I do not sleep.
Zoho doesn't have a panic attack.
Or a nightmare.
He doesn't have to fight his spirit's demons.
And you are basically woken up the following day to large amounts of clattering.
Fluttering? Fluttering? What?
I can. There's a lot of movement outside the hut.
Zoho peeks his head out to see what's up.
As you peek your head out, you see some of the tents are missing. and there seem to be Goliaths hard at work. And as you look over, you can see nearby there's a group of Goliaths basically taking the hides off of the tent, the hut structure, revealing the bone cave.
And
They're
Zoho
just molding
remembers.
it up.
Oh! He ducks back again and shakes everyone awake. Everyone! And they're moving the camp. We must hurry.
I roll over and I'm like, uh, uh, I want to see how they've set the tents up. Friggin' stumble outside to see how they're taking it down.
Why do I see him face planting into the snow right outside the tent? That would have been
So,
funny.
in his PJs, if he had any, in the bitter cold morning.
I'd like to point out, in a tent with no fire, there's no way I'm stripping.
Oh, it's very warm, surprisingly warm in here.
Also, everybody else is in
Malahide is
there.
really good at insulating you from the outside, especially when you've got multiple bodies. So yeah, you can see them, like, they've got basically like sleds similar to what you would set up, better made than what you set up is probably,
Kaite embers again.
like, next to them, and it's all like you can see like one of them, like, they're like shaking the frost and stuff off the hut, the hides before like rolling them up and setting them up on sleds. And then like you can see like another one like taking the ribs that they use to prop the tent up. They all it all just seems to be a very, there doesn't seem to be any like real much tying involved in the sense of anything much of string in that. It all seems to be just kind of like put in such a manner that it, like, once the structure is pulled up, it kind of like it's like an A-frame that just kind of like holds itself together, that it doesn't need to be fully tied. And then the only like signs of any kind of like rope equivalent is like around, like, threaded through the edges of the hides and stuff to stop them getting blown off if the wind gets bad. And they like shake off the frost. They roll up you watch them like roll up the hides, secure them on the sleds. Then they like gather the ribs and that up, which they use to make the frames, and kind of like lay them across the top. Looks like it might be easier to move a sled when it hasn't got all the meat involved as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense.
As far as watching for a while, like a random Goliath wanders by and looks at them and go, "Can you roll an insight check, please, Foreign?"
Yeah. This is not something I think I'm proficient in, so nope.
No, you don't understand the thing he's trying to tell you in his brief moment of passing. He walks past and kind of mutters something, like says something to you in Giant and makes a vague gesture, but you don't understand what is.
Am I nearby to hear it?
Are you in the tent? Hut? I need to stop saying tent.
I would have gotten out of the hut.
Sounds a lot. He basically said, "Pack up your hut, then."
Okay. I just connected Thor, and he said pack up the hut.
Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, so I guess try and pack up the hut.
Are you going to do this on your own?
I
the
gesture
hell?
by it to everybody else.
Real, are you still asleep by chance?
I would have left Soho to wake up real duty.
I feel like Real's a
I
heavy
feel
sleeper,
like
so
I'm
there's, like,
always delegated to wake up real duty.
You've known her slightly longer than the rest of us.
What?
I'm not wrong.
okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Zoho just walks over to the sleeping rail and looks at Kaite. We have to go. They're moving the camp. Soon it will get very cold. Hmm. Zoho just stares back. Do you want Rill to catch a cold, Kaite? Zoho just watches as Kaite drags as Rill.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Rill is constantly
Oh.
a heavy sleeper.
Half-assed attempt.
He
to do
just looks at the sleeping Rill and just pats her head. Chomp! I honestly
I
shouldn't have
question-
thought that coming. And from the
Question
tent
if
they
she's
hear,
awake or not.
"Meow!"
The fuck is this Hanna-Barbera? Shit.
He looks at Kaite. You knew that was going to happen, didn't you? He saw squints at Kaite.
I just immediately consider something and then shake
Well,
my head and
let's
say,
get-
never mind.
Well, we need to get her out of the tent. They're going to start dismantling it soon. And he just heads out of the tent. I mean, hut. Hut! Hut!
Don't worry, I've been doing that too much. Said that one too many times. So, as you're kind of like standing there, watching what's going on, you soon come to the realization none of them are going to come over and help you with your hut.
That figured.
Not surprised.
What do we need the roll?
You don't need to roll anything. It's like you realize that they're not really going to help you, and you seem to have just been left with this hut that.
Yeah, no, I mean, what do we need the roll to take down the hut?
Wow. How do you just tell me how you're going to take down the hut?
by following what they already did.
Told you the most part of it.
Yeah, Zoho walks over to Thorin and Cayenne, rubbing his hand. So, Kaite, Rill will not be of much help right now. He looks over to Kaite with a sleeping Rill on her back. It's amazing how heavy she sleeps. It's still astonishing to me. Sorry, I interrupted.
It's always amazing.
So, looks like no one's helping us dismantle our hut.
Uh, I would just honestly, I would just follow whatever they were doing to begin with. So if that would be athletics,
It's not really too hard. It's sort of like, as a group, you would basically be able to, like, all you gotta do is put the sled down that's next to the hut. Between you, pull the hides off, which I'm not going to make you roll for because it's just going to be a time thing. If you don't get it first try, it's like try a different angle.
okay.
And then, as I said, it's like most of the structure isn't actually bound. It's just kind of like propped up in a specific way that it supports itself for the
Right.
most part. And you kind of just like load it up on the sled.
Okay.
It's like, and once you're kind of like there, finishing off, putting like balancing the last parts on the sled that was next to the hut yourself. One of you has the. Wait a minute. What are we gonna do with the mammoth that we brought?
Well, I'm going to assume that they're probably going to help us move that, as they'll probably be keeping the meat.
Would you like to go and find out?
Yes, I'll
If you head,
go talk to someone. If it has to be the matriarch, it'll be the matriarch then.
well, if you head over towards where you left the mammoth on the makeshift sled, it's like you'll find that someone's already hooked two of their cattle up to it.
Neat.
And as you
Just
as the early hours of the morning go, the huts are quite quickly and efficiently taken down, sledded up. Some have like the ox-like creatures strapped up to them, and then you see others. And Cayenne, with your thingy active, and Otto, if he was here, would understand that some of them are like. Some of the Goliaths are in like forming little groups, just like having discussions about who's pushing, who's pulling.
Pushing.
There seems to be like one or two Goliaths, which seem to be going around kind of not necessarily in charge, but relaying the like travel plans. And eventually, one comes up to you and asks, "It's like, are you now traveling with them?"
Yeah, we. Yeah, I would. I would believe that we would have had a discussion prior to going to sleep / prior to splitting off to do our own thing. That it would probably be best if we went with them to find out just a little bit more about the stones, and also. Oh, later it would probably be best because we're heading technically the right direction. Before we would have to split up.
This Goliath
split
doesn't
off
understand
from them.
half of what you're on about. They just want to know
No,
whether you're
no,
traveling with them.
this was this was out. No, that was all out of character.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're going on about with the matriarch and stuff. It's like he basically just
Yes.
informs you like if you're traveling with them, it's like you're going to be grouped up with the younger Goliaths over there, and he points like to a random couple of sleds that are set
Okay.
up and ready to go. Your instructions are basically go with them, stick
Okay.
with them. You're the buddy groups now,
Okay then.
and the group of Goliaths you're with seems to be 2 younger males, an older, what you believe to be an older one. He looks, or at least he's older than the other two. And they've basically got two sleds, one with an ox-like creature and one without.
Okay. I would go and relay that to the group. Then go meet up with. Then help with the tent, and I guess go meet up with the other. With the Goliath group.
Yeah, you can go meet up with the Goliath group. Anyone else going with them? Or are we leaving it all to
Yeah.
Cayenne because Otto's not in its NPC mode? Probably obsessing over the oxes. So you head over to the group, and it seems like the older of the two looks over to you and say, he gives you a judgmental look, and at the rest of the people, considering how small they are. I suppose they think you are children.
Probably.
Consider. During Moser. Sam. Is. Yes, but no. More diminutive than children.
Well,
More diminutive in an adult sense, but still more of the standpoint of in a children's ranking, I guess.
well, as long as you can keep up, all will be fine. Like, you can watch on you can take the first night of watching.
Okay, will do.
And so, as the rest of the camp finishes packing up, you hear a loud voice coming from what you would assume is the front of the travel party, and you recognize it as the matriarch ordering everyone that it's time to leave and to keep up. We'll only the we'll only the fucking words. Keep up. If you're left behind, they won't come for you. Just make sure the children don't get. Basically, don't let the children get left behind. Anyone else, you're out for yourself. Basically, we make way for the what? We make way to the stones, which leads us to 2 days worth of travel to start with.
Woo.
So,
Do we get food, or are we stuck on our rations?
well, when it comes to the end of the first day, you will find that they don't set up huts and things. What you realize is, as you notice, like, as you've been traveling and paying attention, there's certain, like, some carts are clearly just like huts bundled up. Other carts seem to be supplies. And then on the first night, as you remember them saying that you can do the watch on the first night, you realize there's limited sleeping space.
Ah,
Some of the carts are set up so that they can just sort of like temporarily, kind of like what you would do with your tent, whereby like you got the pole at either end and then you just tie down the corners. They kind of like
right.
a couple of them are like set up so that they can kind of like ease up the ends of a tent, and then they can basically sleep in the cart. However, there is limited space, so there's a lot of sharing. And when they said you can do the first watch, they mean all of you get to stay up and do the first watch. Well, they take one of these semi hut / tents for traveling.
Okay, so
And the first night, you're basically left to the elements, and you're not alone. You can see like it's not a perfect 50-50 split, but if you take the like the young obvious or younger ones out of the equation, it's almost a 50-50 split between like the first night half of them are going to be awake, the second night the other half will be awake, and they're going to alternate days.
right.
Okay.
So it's going to be a rough night's sleep, but you could, if you like, you guys could do. I should probably ask you. It's like when you're on watch and you've not got a tent. It's sort of like, do you want to hug one another, keep each other warm? Just kind of like do you want to set up your own little tent and do your normal shift thing?
I mean, it'd probably be the best idea. I'll do the first watch if that's what we do.
I'm not worried about what order of watches. It's more a case of like, are you all going to stay up for the night? Are you going to do your usual routine and use one
Yeah.
of your basic tents?
I mean, Cayenne could basically stay up all night anyway, so.
But yeah, on the first night, you suddenly realize that it's all like they're like, no, we're taking this for the. And whoever, if you do your normal rotation, whoever's doing watch will see like the other Goliaths are pretty much just sort of like keeping watch around the outside of the travel group and whatnot. They seem to be, to them it's kind of like normal. They don't seem to be affected by it. And after 2 days of travel, you will make it to the stones that you had visited before.
Neat.
So, when you finally arrive where the stones are, the traveling group kind of like spreads out around them and whatnot, and the Goliaths themselves, all like once they're effectively set up camp, start gathering in amongst where these stones have fallen,
Okay.
and as they do, another generic NPC Goliath, who appears to be who you recognize as one of the ones from the first time you came across the tribe that was basically told to watch you. Basically comes to fetch the group. To join the others.
Okay.
On effectively the evening that you arrive, and you gather. Though for those of you, I'm assuming you're going to keep your recasting.
Yeah, I keep
As you
tongues
need
up
to.
at least 6. Yeah, I keep tongues up at least 16 hours. So
It's like while you're so for you, and it would be Otto as well. The group are basically they're gathering here, and the matriarch stands at like effectively the front of everybody, and it's sort of like she speaks about how they gather here on their passing to spend time communing with the heart of the tundra. And basically you get an audience to some of the like inner workings to how the tribe works, in the sense of they deliberately came here during this travel, like at this time while traveling, and she talks about like how they're all attuned, like all belong here, and yada yada yada. I'm not going to go into a full spiel. If you want it, I can give it to you later.
Sure.
I'll type it up properly. As I said,
Okay.
I was procrastinating. And once they're finished, they go back and they kind of like group up to have whatever they're doing with food and whatnot. themselves. And then she approaches the group. You said something before. Show me.
Cayenne sighs, knowing that she's going to be the easy, is to unstick herself. Goes up, well, leads the matriarch to one of the nearer to the ground marks, and Cayenne gently just puts her hand to it.
So, repeating what you did as a group before.
Yes.
Are you looking for the same mark or just a generic one?
The one Cayenne grabbed to was higher up. The Cayenne is not going to use the spite or climb to get up to that. Just one that's closer to the floor.
Okay. So Cayenne's gonna. What's everyone else doing? Well, like, are you going to just watch Cayenne do this? You're all basically being ushered to show what was going on.
I mean, I guess. But I still have to read more of the book and work on that still.
Uh-oh. Roll 20, why have you lost connection?
Uh-oh.
I'm assuming I'm in Discord still, seeing as you said uh-oh.
No.
Like if
It's
the
not
dragon
just
one
you.
is. Yeah, no, it's everyone then.
Okay.
Like if the dragon one specifically is like ground level, I guess that one. Never got an answer on where that one was.
No, I was just checking you weren't doing the climbing and stuff.
No, I'm not going. No,
So-
I can be a weirdo with my friends, not the weirdos with the people that outnumber us.
It crashed.
Yeah, roll 20 seems to be having his of it, don't worry
Yeah,
about
it's having issues.
it. As long as the internet's still here and we've got Discord, this bit is fine. I don't need rolls right now.
Okay.
I say that hoping that roll 20 will work again by the time I need to get someone to roll something.
Hey, it's loading.
So,
It loaded.
right. So, Cayenne goes off. Do you explain what happened to her again, or just are you just gonna straight forward?
I basically explained to her again, just examining it, touching it, thinking that it was just glowing magic. Nothing would happen. But as at least all of us that have just touched it, and as she does, she touches the stone, the rune specifically.
Oh,
So-
no.
As you place your hand against stone and the rune, frost and ice starts running first over your fingertips, then over your hands, and then starts running up your arm.
Well, before the point of me being fully stuck, I would try to pull my arm off. If not, I then just
Just
hang on. I'm trying to just close range fire bolt my arm so that I can pull it off. That happens, and then we have to
hang on.
do that to get off.
So as your arm freezes, you're going to try and firebolt your arm.
Well, it's just freeze. I say this happens, and then we have to use fire to get off it. Then I proceed to start getting to the firebolt part.
So as the ice starts climbing up your arm, She looks at you curiously. As you then go to firebolt it.
Does she stop me?
You go to firebolt it, and nothing comes out. You do your
What?
normal gesture to firebolt, and you feel that magic that you normally feel like run through your arm or whatever gather up, and then it disperses, and no firebolt comes out.
Can I make an Arcana check if I was just counterspelled?
You can make an Arcana check.
I think the music stopped.
Maybe, I don't know. Roll20 died. That's probably why.
Mm-hmm.
Cayenne, you suddenly
Yes.
realize that the magic coming from this is stronger than it was before, and you can actually you start feeling like as you try to cast the firebolt, it like pulsated through your body, effectively nullifying it.
Fine, different fire.
Different fire.
Now, if you excuse, no, that's diff. I just aggro this, and within the minute I will use it on myself. Well, that's different. The spell didn't work.
She looks like you're a little confused.
Well, time for plan B. And just I'd step back. I don't know if there's splashback.
He steps back slightly, looking at you a little confused.
Does the fire breath come out?
So you cast fire. You go to breathe on your arm.
Yes.
Nothing comes out.
You're silenced.
I look at the crew. I have made a
The,
terrible mistake.
the ice is now like up to your elbow and growing, starting to creep up your upper arm. And again, as you try to cast the spell, you just feel like a pulse run through your body.
Is it counterspelling, Cayenne?
The stone. It's not counterspelling.
Is it silencing?
It's not silencing me because apparently people can hear me.
No, we can hear you.
While this sudden little bit of panic starts setting in on you, she kind of like puts her hand on it.
Neat. What happens to her? Meanwhile, I'm looking at everyone else like, where's the fucking torch?
Her hand doesn't start freezing. She stands there with her hand and she's kind of like watching it go, the ice go up yours, and is trying to looks confused to why nothing is happening to herself.
Kayan sees this. I'm going to assume you're attuned to ice and cold. That's why it's probably not affecting you. Looks at Rill to see if she did it, because we never got an answer if she did it or not.
Did Rill touch the
DM
thing?
The DM knows.
Well, Rill's here. Look an answer.
I know. But I can't remember if it was told to us. The other.
Yeah, I don't think it was told to us.
remember when I asked you if you touched the thing? The stones and the ruins. Did you touch them?
Did you
that time?
answer?
What happened?
Oh no. You never told me.
Oh, I didn't. Oh shit, that's my bad then.
So none of the players know.
When Will touched the stones, the same thing happened. Kaite had to get her off.
Okay, Kyan then reassesses. Okay, maybe it's because you're descendant of people that... of specifically the... your ancestors made this, so you touching it would be fine, but others that are not...
Yeah, it happened to everybody who touched it.
So Kyan would be like, I'm going to assume this is because your ancestors made it, while everyone else, including me, whose ancestors
Zaho is
were
just
not
saying
in
that
the area,
I am not touching that.
probably... Meanwhile, me
Yeah, are you
say,
surprised?
hello? Oh. Oh, good. Great. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, so Discord did the thing again where it's just like, hey, yeah, no, I don't read your mic at all.
Okay, lovely. So what are you current?
Ba-
So current plan for people. Cayenne is slowly freezing to this stone.
and I don't have any way of creating fire.
I could do something, but it might hurt.
I could also do something and it would hurt just as much. And you
Meanwhile,
and you might lose feeling in your arm. Maybe.
Well, meanwhile, what I was also trying to say when my microphone decided to mute, I would look at the matriarch and say, I'm going to assume this may have something to do with your ancestors being involved in the creation of this, while my ancestors and their ancestors have had nothing to do with this elemental pillar. I'm going to see if absorb elements allows me to absorb the cold. Can I leave?
Right. So
If I just try to cheese it.
that is. You did say you're not from here. From the other side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
You feel the energy when you cast absorb elements pass through you or into you.
Yep. Let me guess. It just starts freezing faster.
No. It seems to you feel like no. So how do I explain absorb elements? Normally, when you absorb elements, it's all like you would feel the magic like enter into you, and then you kind of like redirect it back out.
Okay, so in other words, I feel the energy, but
it's like you don't take all of it. You basically take some of that energy and redirect it somewhere else, so it doesn't affect you as much.
okay.
And usually you redirect it out into an attack or something. If you don't basically attack within the time frame, it just kind of like disperses outwards somewhere, whatever, because it's not focused.
Who is
Sorry.
snapping something?
Sorry. Something stuck in my chair wheel.
We can hear that. Okay. Alright, enough of. Zoho just walks over to Cayenne, takes one look at the freezing arm, and just gets ready to punch it.
I grab Zoho by the wrist. Are you looking to do the same thing?
I'm going to break the eyes on Cayenne's arm with my fist.
I'm going to break Cayenne's arm.
I hold up the hammer, and then I gesture to the stone itself. Perhaps I could shatter it by hitting the stone next to Cayenne's hand, preferably without crushing it or
The
breaking it.
matriarch looks at you with the hammer. And just
Oh.
like glares. you get the feeling that if you touch these stones with that hammer, would be a bad idea.
It's a good thing she wasn't around when I did it earlier.
And I'll
Trust me.
preface this again. Guys, a torch.
Zoho's just torch.
Hold on.
Why should we waste a torch?
Because we can put it out. It lasts an hour.
I just immediately do this instead. Wait.
Hit the icy arm with a produce flame.
Yep.
The produce flame comes in contact with the ice, and the flames flicker over it. And
It's magic ice that doesn't melt, is it?
the produce flame does nothing.
Okay, torch it is.
So it's in your
Uh,
armpit now.
I pull the torch out and light it and stick it underneath, close to the hand. Freak sakes.
I connect.
This is bullshit.
I connect to Thorin, then to Zoe. Oh, in this order, saying the exact same thing.
So,
If I become a
so my output went to GM again.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. You want
Can I
Kaite
take
to
embers?
bite it?
Firefang, bitch.
Oh no, I'm getting out of the way. Thorin is like getting out of the frick out of the way at this point.
Zoho's confused. Wait, what?
if this doesn't work and Thorin goes to do the torch, I will do what I was going to do. So
Hang on.
does it work?
So Kaite kind of like trots up and tries to like grabs a hold of your arm in her jaws. And tries to do her whole like ember thing that she does.
nothing.
Kaite gets nothing. Kaite feels the same pulse of energy that runs through you run through her as she tries to ignite her fire.
What
Torch.
can I do then? I am
Torch it
nothing.
is. I try the torch now. Kai, does this do anything?
Holding the torch underneath, you just see the flames kind of like lip around the sides as if
But it's not doing
it
anything.
doesn't seem to be melting the ice.
Oh my fucking god.
Mouse.
I'm trying to
Relax.
stay positive.
Okay,
But
so
this...
so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do what we did with the gate. Can I try push any of the ice back with energy?
You want to try and focus your energy?
Yes, and try
Can
to
I-
reverse it.
Okay, here we go. Here's a fun part.
Look,
Oh.
Cayenne will look at both of you. It's either you break my arm off or you slice it as close to the wrist as possible.
Right.
If this
want,
doesn't work.
I want an Arcana and a Constitution.
Okay.
I am going to help Faye with this, Cayenne.
How are you going to help?
I don't know.
Well, he has a spell that gives me a +2. Padawan!
Before we go any further, is Kaite's mouth now frozen to Cayenne's arm?
No. She only like bit them and tried to Ember.
And then
She's not-
Constitution save
not
or just
holding.
Constitution roll?
Constitution save.
Okay, great.
Oh, whoops, sorry. I was gonna try that on the ice.
Right. So you're trying to focus the energy like you did way back when.
Yep.
With the whole thing with Danny.
Yep. Damn it.
While Faye,
So-
Cayenne is doing that, could I ask Thordrak's advice on this?
Let me just deal with this.
Same thing with Sabakaze.
As you focus your energy and stuff like you did with the gate, are you trying to like push back with fire, or like still going with the concept of fire and resisting?
I want to resist the ice, so if that
Okay,
is
so
the
not necessarily fire.
natural
just-
combat.
You're still trying to resist it. Right, so
Yeah, I'm trying to resist it. If that doesn't work, then I'll try swapping to ice somehow.
right, so as you're concentrating and focusing like on what you're trying to achieve, you start to notice it isn't just straight up pushing energy. It's in a rhythm. It feels like the energy as it runs through you out of the stones feels like a steady heartbeat.
Well, if I'm feeling that, I'm going to try to match the rhythm then.
Okay. You start focusing on the rhythm and pushing your magic into the stone like you did with the gate. And as you do, you feel the ice not break, but it feels like it's cracking.
Neat, I keep it up.
You keep doing this.
I keep it up until I can pull myself away from the damn thing.
Okay, hang on a second.
Why do I do this to myself?
Why do you do
As
this?
the matriarch is watching and paying attention, trying to understand what's going on, she notices the cracks forming in the ice, and she basically just grabs a hold of you and rips you from the stone. She is very strong.
Neat.
She is also it's also like if you've ever got an ice cube stuck to your tongue and ripped it off.
Ow.
That
Yeah.
pain.
That
All up your arm.
pain, not your arm, but your hand where
From
it was
the palm.
attached to the stone.
Probably lost some skin.
Ow.
I am not.
Thank you.
Ah,
So, I've come to a conclusion. It's pumping out essentially what would be equivalent to a heartbeat, but with magic.
by the way, your arm's still kind of like frozen stiff. The ice
Yeah,
is
well, now that I'm now that I'm out of it, just prestidigitation.
Yeah, that works now.
Yeah, so I just start prestidigitating my arm to make it warmer. Get it thawed. And then just relate to the group. So, it's just creating a rhythm of magic, like a heartbeat. And I'm going to assume people and creatures that live in the area are more going to be naturally attuned to that rhythm. As I was not.
Naturally
Okay.
attuned to a rhythm.
Naturally attuned to the element's rhythm.
A room?
It could be that our ancestors are different.
It's definitely that as well. Well,
Definitely that as well. Ow. Yeah, probably was painful. Well, I've never seen that happen before. But then I've never seen anyone from not here visit this
that's
place
fair.
before.
That's fair.
She does not understand magic. She's just kind of like, you can see her like she's putting on the whole like serious face, but you can see like her eyes are just sort of like, I don't know what the fuck's going on right now.
Yeah, I'd assume.
No, you should probably eat up, get rest. We continue traveling in the morning.
All right. Thank you for pulling me off that.
I thought it best you not be attached to our ancestors.
Hmm.
Yeah, probably good idea.
But yes,
Anyways,
you did complete your
What?
task, so feel free to continue with us. However, I should probably tell you that we plan to head south from here.
that's fine. I assume this would probably be where we would,
Part ways.
where we would part ways.
Oh, bleh.
So I
Yeah,
suppose we are staying
disappointed.
here trying to figure out these stones?
I shake my head. No, I think we are going to the massive chasm.
There's something there, you believe?
Well, obviously, is I can't
Ki-
remember her
Ki- Ki-
name.
That no one does at this current point for what the matriarch's actual name. We've just been calling her
No, not
matriarch.
her.
No, I know
for
her
the session.
name. I just
The
can't pronounce
other
it.
one, the Stormlord of Ice.
Oh, Varista.
Barista might be there, and the only person in this who seems to be on the side of the mountains who's made it there is, suffice it to say, beyond reach. So we can't really ask for advice.
So basically, we're on our own, and most likely we'll run out of rations before we find her.
Shrug.
I just look at them and be like, we know where mammoths pass. We could just get another one.
Just going to point out, it's still technically your mammoth.
I am taking enough meat to supplement rations, supplement my food for 15 days.
Same.
I'm just going to make it more clear. It's like she said you're welcome to, like, now you've completed the task, you're welcome to stay with them. At no point has she said you can't share shit.
Mm.
Yeah.
She hasn't said for
Well-
or against. You've all just been assuming to be on rations at this point.
Well, I look at Cayenne. Then tell her we'll take enough of the meat to survive long enough to make it to there and back over the mountains. And then the rest is theirs.
I relay that information. Also looking up at God, how much does 300 pounds of meat equal to rations?
How much is
'Cause I-
300 pounds? Why 300 pounds specifically?
Because my bag of holding it has 155.5 pounds currently in it, and I definitely remember saying, whatever good meat can't fit into the cart, I'm wrapping up in like enough leftover hide and shoving it into my bag of holding.
Right.
Well, we're definitely not taking the whole freaking mammoth because we don't even we're not even gonna need a quarter of it.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna do fucking math, you bastards.
I mean, if Cayenne wants to fill the rest of the bag of holding, more power to Cayenne. That's enough meat to get us to the chasm back over the mountains and have like months left. We'll just have to cook it by then.
Okay.
Okay.
There's 6 of you, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Zach.
You could get 10 days.
From what's in the cart or from what's in my bag?
Rough estimate on how much a steak is versus. But basically, you could get about 10 days worth of rations for the whole party.
So from the 300 pounds in the bag, that's about 60 rations.
About 60 rations worth of meat. Bear in mind, this is just kind of like raw meat.
Right.
Good news is it's very cold and effectively frozen, so it should last a while.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Well, we've gone 2 days, 3 days.
About 2 days closer.
Yeah, so we have 8 days.
So you are now
And
on the 28th.
It's 28.
Well, you're ending the 28th day. End of day the 28th. So you would start your the next day's travel would be the first of the next month,
Okay.
and we'll basically call it
Josh.
here, I believe, unless there's
What?
something you
Josh,
wanted.
you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Why?
You're dying.
Uh, I just gotta send a message that kind of cracked me up a little bit. That's
Oh.
all. Don't worry about it.
So yeah, I think that'll be it. There will be another, possibly another time skip for traveling
What is that it for
towards your
today?
next destination. But you'll basically like you stay with them tonight, and then in the morning they're gonna head south, and you want to go. You want to go towards the west, towards where she said. And that's where the fun
Okay.
begins.
And since we're ending on that, well, that's us for tonight. You'll see us on Sundays for Phasmo or something else if the time comes. Thursday for whatever hell Terp streams. Fridays for
If anyone's paying
Resident
attention to
Evil.
this, it's just the usual schedule at this point.
yeah, it's the usual sketch. Well, Fridays is Resident Evil and Hi-Fi Rush, and then probably next week will be another D&D session because I will probably be forcing Terp to play this on Saturday. Bye.
Bye.